What's up YouTube? My name is James, and today we're going to talk a little bit about travel and not about the automotive content that I'm mostly known for here on YouTube. Now, some of you guys might be familiar with that channel, 4-Lane Blacktop. If you're into cars, be sure you check that out. But today I'm here in Philadelphia. I have actually flew up here from my home in North Carolina, and I have this thing called the Frontier Go Wild Pass. And essentially what this thing is, it's an unlimited flight pass. You just pay the taxes and the fees. I actually flew here to Philadelphia last night for a whopping $16. So essentially right now at 7 o'clock in the morning in Philadelphia, I'm going to take the Amtrak to New York. I'm going to venture around New York. I'm going to have lunch, and then I'm going to fly from New York back to North Carolina, all for the low cost of $16. So we got a short little walk to the local train station so we can catch the subway system to the Amtrak station. And that's the good thing about the Northeast. They have really good public transportations from what I've experienced. And it's pretty easy to navigate with all of our new modern technology that we have on the internet. Here is our station. This is the closest station to the airport besides the actual airport stations themselves. We've made it to New York. We're in the train station. We're going to get on the metro, walk around town, and see what we can see. Alright, so we're at the World Trade Center station, and this is a pretty significant area here because everything you see here is original. This is where a lot of people went to work, to the World Trade Center on 9/11, and of course a lot of those guys never made it home, but this was also the path for everybody escaping 9/11. And you can see they have a door here that was tagged by the firefighters on 9/13/2001, and it's still here as a memorial. And this is one of the remaining areas that's left from what's left of the train station, because most of it got damaged in the collapse of the World Trade Center. It's a little rainy here, but this is the World Trade Center complex. Right in front of you is the reflective pool of the North Tower. South Tower is a little bit down that way. We have the museum over here to our left. But this is a pretty powerful place. You can see the magnitude of the size of this building, how big it actually was. It's hard to believe that it's not here anymore. Here's where we have World Trade Center 1, the new tower. And as you can see, it's so foggy you can't even see the top. But this is where the South Tower was. This is the reflecting pool. There's no water in there. I guess they might be doing some maintenance. But as you can see, it's pretty much the same as the North Tower. You can see all the tall buildings around there. That's pretty cool. And it's hard to believe that these little buildings that you see, they're tiny buildings compared to the buildings that were actually here. I mean, even that one, that's pretty tall, and that's not even in comparison to what actually stood on these two sites. So here we are. This is the Sphere. This was in the plaza in between both of the Twin Towers, and it survived the actual collapse. But you can see it took a lot of damage, and they have it in a park actually right across the road from where the tower stood. So now we're heading over here. Now this tree that you see surrounded, this is a survivor tree. This is a tree that actually survived the collapse of the towers. And from what I understand, they dug it up, they replanted it, and it's still here today on site.
Trade Center. They have a bunch of stores here.
Well, I'm down here at Battery Park, and I believe this is going to be the best view of the Statue of Liberty we're going to get. Here you can see it way off in the distance out there in the middle of the bay. Statue of Liberty.
Look at the statue.
I see it! I see it!
Alright, it's around noon. Let's go get some lunch. Alright, as you can see, we're in Times Square, and this is where everybody gathers to watch the ball drop right there in that tower right there where you see 2025. That's where the ball is. And as you can see, there's a lot of people here in the middle of the day on a Monday. Hustlers, we got characters, We got all kinds of stuff going on out here. This is Times Square looking back north. Lots of people out here, as you can see. We got some good looking and smelling food right here for sure. Check out all this food. Little ice cream truck giving out free ice cream. Looks pretty good. Got a steaming manhole here. It's typical New York. So I was hoping to end this video a little differently, but I'm still here in New York at 6 o'clock. My flight was supposed to leave at 5 p.m. So I'm stuck here around Times Square, which is not a bad thing. I can walk around, I get to eat dinner here, but I only planned on eating lunch and just kind of checking out a few things.
I really know.
Well, this trip didn't turn out quite like I wanted to. It's about 12:30 a.m. I'm still here in New York. I'm stuck at the airport. They ended up canceling our flight after delaying it 6 hours. So now they're putting us up into a hotel so we can leave out at noon tomorrow. So I'm standing out here waiting for the shuttle. So definitely not the way I wanted the trip to go. This was supposed to be a quick trip. Now it's ended up being 2 days long. So it's 1:30 a.m. and I finally have made it to my complimentary room courtesy of Frontier Airlines due to their cancellation of my flight. So now it's time to get some rest so we can get up in the morning, eat breakfast, and be at the airport ready to fly out back home to North Carolina at 11 o'clock in the morning. It's the next morning. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning. And as you can see, all this traffic behind me. New York is alive and awake. Everybody's getting to work. Everybody's blowing horns, making a lot of racket. So I got a little bit more time to do a little bit more exploring. So I'm going to go down here and check out Roosevelt Island. This is an island in the middle of the East River. It's in between Manhattan and Queens. And I'm actually in Queens right now. So I'm walking to the train station, because there's only like 2 or 3 ways to get there. You can take a bridge, there's like a skyway, and you can take the train. And I'm gonna take the train, so let's go check it out. Yeah, you can see all this traffic it's been wild here since like 7 o'clock. It's just been a bunch of horn blowing and all kinds of just racket, city racket. That's one reason why I want to get out of the city. I want a little bit of quietness. Finally made it to North Carolina after being stuck in New York for 24 hours. So now it's time to drive home.